Hi guys, so we've set up your first Google Ads campaign. Now it's important that we get all the targeting and settings correct to make sure that you have a really highly relevant, impactful Google Ads campaign. Now, obviously you're aware of keywords and we've already spoke about the keywords that we're going to add to your campaign. But there is so much more options available in terms of targeting when it comes to Google Ads. Some of these include location targeting. You've got ad scheduling, which allows you to choose the hours or days of week that you appear. You have optimizations and targeting around your devices, so whether it's you want to bid on mobile more aggressively or desktop, etc. And you also have targeting settings around the basics, such as your language targeting and how your ads rotate and different settings like this. We're going to talk through every single thing you need to know right now to make sure your campaign is set up for success. So let's dive in.
Hi guys, welcome back to the course. So last time we left off, we had set up our very first campaign and also linked to our Google Analytics accounts and set up some conversions. Now what we're going to do is make sure that all of our settings and targeting are correct in order for our campaign to run effectively. So if you'd like to go ahead and log back into your ads.google.com account and pick up where we left off on this main home screen here on the overview tab within Google Ads. So first of all, we're going to work our way through the left hand side panel and navigate through each section to talk about what we can optimize further. So obviously we've created our first campaign, which is in my case, a PPC Training Exact campaign. Within here we have our ad group, which then holds our ads and our keywords. So now we're going to go ahead and double check the settings section. So got a drop down here tab for settings and you can click on the campaign settings section. So it'll give us a breakdown of individual targeting settings for the specific campaign that I'm on. So the PPC Training Exact campaign. You can also do account level also, but we'll start with the campaign settings. So first of all, we can see the budget set to £10 a day. Perfect for me. Set your budget to what you'd like to spend. My bid strategy is personally on maximize clicks, but again, we will talk through bid strategies in more detail in another part of the course. We have touched on it briefly. It might be that you've started with a manual CPC or a maximize clicks to get your campaign going. My campaign type is search, so this means that we're running on the search network and not including any display. Delivery method is standard. Which means that Google will try to show my ads evenly throughout the day for the budget that I have set on the campaign. If you have an accelerated delivery method, this means Google would spend your budget as quickly as possible. So it might be if there's high competition and you've got a limited budget, you could have the potential to spend your budget by 11 a.m, for example, rather than it being staggered throughout the whole day. Next up, we've got the ad rotation, which is set to best performing ads and rotation. And then campaign end date. The start date will be the date you've created the campaign. I haven't set an end date for this campaign because it's an indefinite campaign. But you can set an end date on specific campaigns. If, for example, you're running an offer campaign that only runs for 4 weeks, for example, you can choose to create an end date so it automatically ends for you. My language is English because I'm targeting English users with English ads, and my location is the United Kingdom. Now we've also got a section here that mentions the ad schedule, bid adjustments and devices, but there's a separate tab on the left hand side that we'll go into in more detail to optimize these. So if we just take a quick look at the account settings also. So most of this can just be left as is, tracking, auto tagging, call reporting's turned on, which is fine. We'll kind of scan through this section, check your time zone, which would have been done when you originally set up the account, and everything else is fine for me and should be for you also. Okay, so if we move on to this more section, this is where we can go into more granular targeting for the campaign and account. So like I mentioned, my targeted location is the United Kingdom. However, if I wanted to see within here a breakdown of individual cities within the UK, I can also add these in and it'll start collecting data in rows for these cities also. So we'll do an example. I'll select the campaign and I'm going to pop in Manchester, for example. So Manchester, England is another location that I want to target. So I'll save that. Now what we'll see here is obviously we're targeting the UK and which houses Manchester, but we'll be able to see the traffic that comes through all of the UK and the traffic that comes through Manchester. And if, for example, Manchester is working particularly well, we could use a bid adjustment to maybe increase that by 10%, for example. Or if it's performing badly or not as well as we'd like, but still want to appear in that area, we could actually decrease the bid adjustment by 10%, for example. And what that means is, although we're talking all of the UK, Manchester specifically would have a higher or lower bid depending on the performance. So you can go ahead and add as many locations as you'd like for here. So we'll add in a few more just as an example. And you can also add in what's known as a radius target. So a radius target would be if you want to drill down and target specifically close to an area. Maybe it's you only service within 20 miles of your location. So you might do 20 miles within a postcode area. So if I pop in a postcode, let's just make one up. There we go, we've got Bury here. So 20 miles within Bury would be this radius, and you could apply that also. And we'll save that, and you'll see the different breakdowns of locations. And again, you can remove locations as well, so you can remove any of these that you've added and change your location as you need to. Following on from this, there's excluded locations also. So again, it's the same principle that you can select your campaign and add in a location that you don't want to target. So let's say, for example, you targeted the whole of the UK, but you specifically don't want to target London. We can pop in London as a negative. So the whole of London would be excluded. So if you save that, what you might see is that you've got a conflicting situation because you're excluding it and you're targeting it here, because I've added London before. Oh no, sorry, excuse me. We didn't add London in, so we're fine. So if I'd had London in here, we wouldn't see any traffic coming through for it because I'd added it to the excluded list. So this is just ways that you can optimize your targeting of locations. Following on from your location targeting, we have the ad schedule, which is under this section here. So currently there's no ad schedule in place, so you'll get a notification saying your ads are eligible to show all of the time, all days of the week and at all times of the day. So as I've mentioned previously, if for example you would only like your ads to run between 9 AM and 5 PM Monday to Friday, we can create a schedule that allows that. So we'll go ahead and set this up for you. So here you've got a breakdown of the days that you want to target. It can get quite bespoke, so it might be that you have specific times on a Monday, different times on a Tuesday, different times on a weekend, for example. But for this scenario, we'll just do a Monday to Friday edit. So I'm going to set my Monday to Friday 9 AM to 5 PM. There we go, and then save that. And what that means is this campaign is now only eligible to run between the hours of 9 AM and 5 PM and will not run outside of that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So it will no longer run on a weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and it won't run outside the hours here. You can add on different layers, so we can do a Saturday, for example, maybe it's shorter times. You run from 10 AM to 4 PM, for example, on a Saturday. You can add that on. So there we go, so I've just changed it to Saturday. So remember, if you're making changes in your ad schedule, you can either change your ad schedule completely or you can add more variations on. So if I wanted to include my my weekdays as well, so currently this is what I've got, you'd have to click this add button, Monday to Friday, and just pop in whatever time you wanted to show for. Okay, there we go. So this is just an example of how you would update your ad schedule and the hours and days of the week that you want to appear for. Now I'm just going to go ahead and remove that because right now I want my campaigns to run all days of the week and all hours to gather the data and understand it. Okay, great. Once you've started gathering a little bit of data, this day and hour section will give you more of a breakdown of how your ads are performing, the traffic levels and conversions that you're getting by day and by hour. Following on from this, we have the device section. Now this is where we can optimize towards our devices, whether that be computers, mobile or tablet. So at the moment, I'm going to leave all the bid adjustments blank simply because we don't have any data to justify applying a bid adjustment right now. It might be that once we start generating some traffic through this campaign that mobiles work particularly well for us, and then I can then start to increase my mobile bid adjustment and so on and so forth. But right now we're going to leave those as blank. Again, if you've got a specific reason for why you don't want to target a specific device, you can of course add in a minus bid adjustment. So you could do minus 100%, decrease by 100%, and that would mean that it wouldn't show for computers, for example. But again, we're going to leave that blank for now. And then a good little note at the bottom here is how to see changes that have been made on your account. So at the very bottom, you've got this change history option, and this will give you a breakdown of all the things that have been done on the account, depending on the date range that you choose. So this month, for example, I can see that I've had ad schedules removed, added, etc. So these are just the things that I've been doing on this example today. So yeah, if you come into here and you have any questions about the changes that have been made on your account, this will give you a full breakdown of what's been happening and maybe more insight into why something has happened as well. Specifically, when you start gathering more data from your account, it might be that there's a change in performance, and it might have been something that's occurred on the account as a change also. You'll be able to review back here and see what exactly went on. Thanks for listening, guys. Your campaign is almost ready to go. Just go one more section, and that is doing your billing information. So if you hang around for the next video, we will talk through that section also. Thanks, guys.